Hello, Raffi.
Hey, Theodorus, what's the plan?
Thanks again for your help, Raffi. My journey is now going to take me into the desert. My brother and I want to find Zerzura. You must have heard of this city.
A little. But what I did hear sounded pretty promising. You know what? I'll come with you.
Are you sure? We don't know how to find the place, nor do we know where we ought to search for the missing key fragments, and what we might find there.
Sounds like a children's game. When are we getting started?
See you later, then.
See you around.
Hey!
Hey!
You've surely heard. I'm going to look for Ramon's desert city. We could do with whatever help we can get, but of course it's completely up to you if you want to come along or not.
Is that what you want, then? You want me to come with you?
It'll be a race against time. Ramon's wound is turning into blood poisoning. There'll be no healing him soon. Nobody actually knows where the city lies. And then there's still the crazy Grand Inquisitor, striving for world domination.
Well, since you ask so nicely.
Seriously though, Jamila, I don't want anything to happen to you.
Are you joking? I'm definitely coming with you.
I'm pleased about that, of course, but please think about it once more. Things could get really dangerous.
So? Who do you think you're talking to? In case you've forgotten, I'm Jamila, Carlos's daughter, and have been through plenty of other adventures before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I fought side by side with my father on land and sea. I've survived a mutiny, cannonballs have flown past my ears, and someone even tried to hack me to death with an axe. But do you know the worst thing I've ever been through so far?
No idea, but the axe thing sounds pretty bad.
No, it was when we were in the palace and the captain drafted me into sewing like a housewife.
Fair enough, Jamila. Lovely to have you on board. Salam alaikum, Honourable Emir.
Alaikum salam, my young friend.
A new adventure awaits. I'll go and search for Zerzura with my brother. You know, the city of which he has spoken again and again.
But it's really only a legend. Made up by grave robbers who could use such fairy tales to increase the value of their wares tenfold.
Ramon is sure that it really exists, and he's quite certainly no grave robber.
If you believe in it, then I'll come with you. As things are now, I can't stay here anyway. I used to often travel with the desert caravans. I know my way around somewhat. I can lead you if you wish.
Thank you. We're happy to accept your offer.
There's not enough gold in the world to pay for what you've done for me. If I can help you now, then I'm a happy man.
We'll see you later, Honourable Emir.
My heart will be filled with joy.
Ramon?
Yes, brother?
What else do you know about the Queen?
That there wouldn't be a Zerzura without her, and that she must be very old. I've spoken to various generations of Zerzurians, and they only ever speak of this one queen.
Why did she remain alone in Zerzura?
I have heard that her own fate is closely bound to the city. We should hope that she long continues.
So why did our mother flee Zerzura?
I don't know what happened exactly, but it must have been something pretty terrible. The one soul who has remained in the city is the queen.
Can you still remember our mother?
I was 5 years old when she died. I no longer have an image of her in my head, only in my heart. She was a good mother, happy and warm-hearted. You would have loved her too.
Yes. Do you know how she died?
From exhaustion. Tabit said that the travails of the flight were too much for her.
No, that's not what happened. Shortly before his death, he told me that the Inquisition took her and burned her at the stake.
What? Theodore, do you realize what that means?
Yes. The Grand Inquisitor must already have been searching for the key fragments at that time. Oh, but you don't know yet, Ramon. The flying machine with the leather hull and the basket that I built recently. Do you remember it? Yes, it did in fact fly. Can you imagine that?
Really? You got that thing into the air?
Yes, I even flew after you in it, as far as southern Spain.
So far, and in spite of your fear of heights? You're not just a genius. You have the heart of a lion too, my brother.
That cat's head goddess, Bastet, is that her as well? The one who featured on all those lion head artifacts that you collected?
No, The one with the lion head is Sekhmet, Bastet's dark, angry sister.
Do you know the fastest way to get to Zerzura?
I would simply follow my heart.
You don't think there's a more, exact route description?
It's possible, but I don't know it. I have nothing that points to it in my notes.
Have you ever seen the Grand Inquisitor?
Only as a shadowy form. He always kept himself in the background while his torturing knaves did their work.
What will he do if he gets all the pieces? What does he want with Zerzura?
Perhaps he wants to take back all of the relics from a lost crusade for the church.
For the church?
Yes. 200 years ago, a group of crusader knights made their base in Zerzura. I'm guessing that the church is still speculating on there being a fair load of booty still there.
Could be right. If the Grand Inquisitor finds all of the key fragments, then he'll enter a city free of inhabitants, and it'll be an easy job for him to loot the place completely.
Don't underestimate the Queen, though. She won't allow that. She'd rather pit herself against a whole army rather than just give up her city.
Does she have any chance, though, against the Grand Inquisitor and his followers?
I hope so, for if not, then the days of Zerzura are surely at an end.
So we have to get there before him, then. How are you doing?
I thank Sekhmet for sending you.
I'm asking myself, why did you all flee from Zerzura? What happened back then?
Blood was spilled. A black day for Zerzura. Many died. All the others fled.
But why? How did things come to that?
I don't know, and I'm glad that I wasn't anywhere near the Queen's temple. My family came away unscathed. Sekhmet be thanked.
What do you know of the Queen?
Without her people, she is nothing, and with them, everything. She has no power on her own, but through us she can become as strong and powerful as she once was. Through us, and with Sekhmet's help as well.
That sounds like a person ought to beware of her.
The Queen is good. She is the one that we thank for the water that could make my eyes see once again. It is she who saw to it for centuries that Zerzura was the contented white city and a blooming paradise in the middle of the desert.
For centuries, you say?
Yes, the source of her power also knew the secret of immortality.
And it could be this, that the Grand Inquisitor wants to draw upon for himself.
That would suit him well. And if that man had that kind of power, then he would also turn that paradise into a burning hell.
Do you know how we can get to Zerzura?
I have already once tried to find it. There is supposed to be a description of the route and the old ruins, but I didn't find it.
What ruins are these?
The Egyptian temple in the desert. 5 days' travel from Tripoli.
What do you know about the Grand Inquisitor?
More than a person can stand. Don't ask.
He must be a cruel man.
Cruel and profoundly evil, and he will never rest until he has what he wants. May Sekhmet guard us from his rule.
Do you know the source of the immortality?
No, that is known only by the Queen's 12 counselors.
Take some rest.
Thank you, my boy. May Sekhmet be with you.
The most important thing I need for the journey is preparation. Otherwise, we'll not get 2 days distant.
So it is. There's still water and supplies in a hiding place in my palace. I can go and fetch them.
Very good.
I'm going to draw a map with the other Zerzurians, showing the way to the Egyptian ruins.
Why? What are we supposed to do there?
There's supposed to be a map room there, which has a description of the way to Zerzura.
Really? In the old Egyptian ruins? I think I've been past there once.
Well, then you can help us.
Very happy to, as soon as I've got the supplies.
Good.
And I'll get blankets, lamps, and tents.
I'll help you with that, Raffi.
That is a whole lot of stuff for you two on your own. I'll come along too.
And who's taking care of the camels?
There's still one in the palace gardens, but it's not too well, unfortunately. I can ask my most loyal subjects for help, and definitely get hold of 3 camels, but that won't be enough.
No, we'll need at least 2 more. Pity that camel in the palace is sick.
You can make it well again, Theodorus. I get the feeling that you'd be good with camels.
You really think so? I was just thinking the opposite.
Even if you can get it fit again, we still need 1 more. There are 5 of us, and each has equipment and supplies.
Yes, that's right. You're 3 camels. The sick one, and then another one.
Then the other Zerzurians are going to have to stay here. They're too weak to walk. Better if we come and collect them once we've found Zerzura.
I've already spoken to them. They're agreed that they should wait and rest in Raffi's hideout.
Then that's all arranged. Everybody knows what they have to do, and I'll take care of the 2 missing camels. Would appear to be a trader from the desert, maybe a Bedouin. Uncle Tabbit always liked to tell stories about them. Greetings.
Take your time to look at everything. My goods are of the finest quality.
What do you want for one of your camels?
Normally they aren't for sale. But if you help us get our goods sold, then we'll give you one.
Do you come here from the desert every day? That must be an arduous journey.
That's right. That's why we've set up camp here and take turns. It's a shame we're not allowed into the city to exchange our goods with other traders anymore. We've been living off dry bread and beans for days.
Why can't you go into the city?
The new rulers of the city have decreed it so. We're avoiding trouble and selling outside the city, even though hardly anyone passes by.
What do you sell?
Mainly salt, but also soap and stone craftwork. We have a long tradition of stone art.
You come from the desert, don't you? Then you must definitely have heard of Zerzura.
Why are you interested in such a thing?
Why not? Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Zerzura, the White City, the lost desert paradise.
Those are fairy tales. To us, Zerzura means something quite different.
Like what? Tell me, please.
How many names do you want to hear?
Well, why don't you just start?
The Forbidden City of the Horizon. There where the sandstorms rage. The city of no return. The city of the vain search, of eternity, of death.
Sounds even more exciting. I think I have to go there.
Only one who doesn't know the desert could speak like that. Don't try to find that which doesn't want to be found.
Adios.
May the sun be with you.
Some alms for a poor old man?
I'm really sorry, but I've got nothing.
Think of me, sir, when you have something. Allah will thank you for it.
Here, you can certainly use this.
And how? My gullet's as dry as a desert bush in autumn. You're a good man. Allah will thank you for your kindness. Salut.
Greetings, good man. Have you ever heard of Zerzura?
Zerzura. That was the name of the lead bull camel on the last caravan. A beautiful creature.
I mean Zerzura, the desert city.
Kazuza. That means hungry in Spanish. I know that word in nearly every language.
Zerzura.
What was the question again?
Adios.
Peace and happiness to you and all your children.
Good day, sir.
Thank Allah that He led you to me. How can I serve you, good sir? What are you doing back here? You're not a slave anymore?
No, we overcame the guards, and for the time being have them locked up in prison.
The Spaniards deserve nothing better. Maybe I ought to sell the soldiers on as slaves. Or maybe I should move into the palace and get them to work for me. That would serve them right.
As you like. Here's the key for the prison. Have fun with the soldiers.
That I will.
Did you know there are Bedouins camping outside the gates of the city, selling cheap soap and salt?
Yes, that's why the market here is so empty. The damn Spanish don't let anyone in.
And it looks like those chaps are quite famished and have a real appetite for dates.
For dates, you say?
I think they'd pay a lot for them.
Thank Allah for sending you. He has spared me. By Allah, that's what I call a good deal.
Forsooth, I haven't made a better one in months. Young friend, many thanks for your help. You're welcome to choose a camel and collect it when you are ready.
Yes! Thank you. I've got one camel. Oh, hello, Jamila.
Hey, I'm combing these things here for provisions and such for our journey.
Of course, I understand. Don't stop. That seems to be the only camel in the stable. The Grand Inquisitor has taken all the others with him. It doesn't seem to be too healthy. Hardly moves, but still seems to be breathing. Exactly the reason why the Grand Inquisitor and his people have left it behind. I need to get the camel back up on its feet. Otherwise Ramon isn't going to make the journey. I don't want to go in there. That's where the dead captain is. If I'm not completely mistaken, those have to be ferns. Greetings, good man. You don't know anything about camels by any chance?
Camels? Huh. That's about the only thing I do know about.
Really?
Yes. I was the camel doctor in the palace of the former emir until the Spanish came.
Would you mind having a look at a sick camel? Perhaps it isn't all that serious.
Perhaps. It's just I haven't eaten anything today and the wine won't last much longer either.
Don't worry, your efforts won't be for nothing.
It would seem that the poor thing has only got a rather large cactus spine stuck between his toes.
So he can walk again soon?
I can pull the spine out, but then the wound will need to heal first, We need to give it a good clean and bandage it.
Clean and bandage. All right. With what?
Bring me salts and fern leaves.
Greetings.
Take your time to look at everything. My goods are of the finest quality.
I'd like a bag of salt.
With what would you like to pay for it?
With this device for stone crafting.
I don't know this. What is it supposed to be?
What? You don't know it? It's a holding device for stones, so they can be painted from all sides. No smudging, no dirty fingers from holding it.
Let me see. Yes, it looks really useful. Thank you. Here's your salt.
Adios.
May the sun be with you.
Here's the salt.
Have you got the ferns, too?
Yes, sure. Here.
So, in a few hours I can have the camel walking again.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Please take something from the stores here to fill your empty stomach.
I have reason to be thankful too.
So that's the second camel. I should go back to the hideout and tell the others.
Northeast from this point?
Yes, right there, I'm quite certain.
How are you getting on?
Very good, Fyodor, very good. The Emir can remember the ruins quite precisely. We could pretty much draw the way there exactly to the foot.
Fantastic. Then nothing else can go wrong.
Have you been able to get hold of 2 camels? I can hardly wait to get going.
You will have to be patient a little longer, dear brother. I have 2 camels, but one of them is still a bit weak, and will be ready to go in a few hours.
That's fine. We should wait until nightfall before we leave anyway. Our first stop is not so far from Tripoli, at a watering point on the caravan road, but far enough that we have the dunes behind us.
Good.
The pack saddles are loaded. I prepared Ramon's saddle a bit so that he can keep his legs still.
Thank you, Jamila. That's really very nice of you.
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I don't even recognize myself.
Now, a decent meal and a nap, and then I'm ready to go.
Good plan. That's exactly what we'll do.
Together with his friends and Ramon, he ventured into the unknown, deeper and deeper into the desert, into that sea of stone and sand.
Where are we?
A watering point in the middle of the desert.
Watering point?
Yes. On a caravan road, there are stores of water at regular intervals. The caravan leaders get them filled when they pass by on the route.
How practical.
There's water in many places in the desert. For example, look at that termite hill over there.
Really? Do the termites gather water?
You could put it that way. If you eat enough termites, you certainly won't die of thirst.